Welcome to our channel HD Rare Coin 111, your go-to spot for uncovering the incredible world of rare US coins. If you've ever wondered if your old pennies, nickels, or dimes are worth more than face value, you're about to find out. In today's video, we'll be exploring some truly rare coins and their shocking values. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. So let's jump in. Top 1. You might never imagine that a small coin worth just 5 cents could one day be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Yet, in the fascinating world of coin collecting, the 1974 Jefferson Nickel stands out as a true treasure. Today, I invite all coin lovers, hobbyists, and collectors to listen closely, because this coin's story is filled with rarity, mystery, and incredible value that has turned ordinary collectors into proud owners of something extraordinary. The Jefferson Nickel has been a staple of American currency since 1938, honoring Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. Featuring Jefferson's profile on the obverse side and Monticello, his Virginia home, on the reverse, this coin carries deep historical significance wrapped in everyday use. But not all nickels are created equal. While millions of 1974 Jefferson nickels were minted and circulated, some are exceptionally rare and valuable due to minting errors, unique varieties, or their condition. One of the key reasons collectors treasure certain 1974 nickels is because of mint errors that occurred during production. Mint errors are mistakes made during the striking process, and they create coins that differ from the standard design, making them highly sought after by collectors. One such error is the doubled die. In 1974 Jefferson nickels, some coins display a doubling effect on inscriptions like Liberty or the date 1974. This happens when the die used to stamp the coin is struck twice in slightly misaligned positions. The resulting doubling can often be seen without magnification, giving the coin a unique, eye-catching look. Another fascinating error is the clipped planchet. This occurs when the metal blank is improperly cut, leaving a curved segment missing from the edge of the coin. If the clip is well defined and clean, it turns a normal nickel into a highly collectible piece. Off-center strikes are also noteworthy. When the coin blank is not perfectly aligned in the press, part of the design is missing or shifted. For a 1974 Jefferson nickel with a significant off-center strike but a fully visible date, this error makes the coin stand out among others. Broad strike errors are equally intriguing. When a coin is struck without the collar that normally keeps it in place, it flattens and expands, resulting in a coin with distorted rims and a larger diameter. These coins are rare and prized by error collectors. Beyond mint errors, the condition of the coin dramatically influences its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a flawless specimen. Many coins in circulation show wear, scratches, and discoloration, which reduce their worth. However, a 1974 Jefferson nickel preserved in mint state condition, especially with a high grade and original luster, is a collector's dream. The combination of rarity, condition, and error status can cause some 1974 Jefferson nickels to fetch astounding sums at auction. One extraordinary example, a 1974 Jefferson nickel with a bold double die error, preserved in exceptional mint state condition, recently sold for a jaw-dropping $84,000. That's right, a 5-cent coin sold for $84,000. This incredible price underscores the excitement and potential hidden in everyday coins. For collectors, the 1974 Jefferson nickel is more than just spare change. It's a piece of American history, a fascinating example of minting craftsmanship, and for some, a ticket to unexpected fortune. So next time you find a nickel from 1974, take a moment to examine it closely. Look for doubling, check for missing edges, and appreciate its condition. You might just be holding a hidden gem that could be worth far more than you think. For coin enthusiasts and collectors everywhere, the story of the 1974 Jefferson nickel is a reminder. Treasure often lies in the smallest places, and the thrill of discovery never fades. Keep your passion alive and enjoy every moment of your collecting journey. Top 2. What if the change rattling in your pocket held more value than you ever imagined? What if that simple, dull-colored 5-cent coin, the kind most people toss into jars and forget, was actually a hidden treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. Today, we're going deep into the fascinating world of one such coin, the 1985 Jefferson Nickel, a small piece of American currency that has captured the attention of collectors with its rarity, errors, and shockingly high value. If you're a coin lover or collector, this is a video you'll want to listen to very carefully, because this isn't just any nickel. It's a story of hidden worth, minting quirks, and a collector's dream come true. Let's begin with a little background. The Jefferson Nickel has been in continuous production since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by artist Felix Schlag, the coin features the dignified profile of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, while the reverse displays a simple yet elegant image of his famous Virginia home, Monticello. This design remained unchanged for decades, making every variation and error from this long-running series all the more interesting to collectors. Now, fast forward to 1985. This was a year that produced tens of millions of Jefferson nickels at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. On the surface, the 1985 nickel may seem like one of the most common coins around. But beneath its average appearance lies a world of numismatic surprises, especially for those who know what to look for. What makes certain 1985 nickels stand out? The answer is rarity, minting errors, and condition. Let's begin with mint errors, which are unintentional flaws or anomalies that occur during the coin production process. These errors are often so subtle that they go unnoticed, but some are bold and unmistakable, and that's when their value skyrockets. One of the most valuable errors in the 1985 Jefferson Nickel series is the double die error. This happens when the coin die is struck more than once during its creation, but the impressions are misaligned. As a result, parts of the design appear doubled on the final coin. On a 1985 nickel, you may see this doubling on Jefferson's eye, the date, or inscriptions like Liberty and In God We Trust. The bolder and clearer the doubling, the more valuable the coin. Another incredible error that adds to the value is the off-center strike. This happens when the blank planchet, the piece of metal being turned into a coin, is not properly aligned under the press. The result is a coin that may be missing a portion of its design, or has an uneven rim. If the date remains fully visible, these off-center nickels from 1985 become instantly collectible. Let's not forget the clipped planchet error, where part of the coin is literally missing due to a blank being cut too close to the edge of the metal strip. If the clip is sharp and well-defined, and especially if it occurs near a visible date, the value of the coin can soar. We also have the broad strike error, which occurs when the collar, the device that shapes the coin's rim, malfunctions or is missing during striking. This causes the coin to spread out, creating a warped appearance. These coins are dramatic in appearance and always catch the eye of an error collector. But perhaps the most intriguing of all are wrong planchet strikes, instances where a Jefferson nickel is accidentally struck on a planchet meant for another coin, like a dime or a foreign coin. These are incredibly rare and can be worth thousands all on their own, especially if the mistake is obvious and the details are sharp. Now, beyond errors, there's the factor of condition, something that plays a huge role in a coin's value. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70, where 70 represents a perfect, mint-state specimen with no flaws under magnification. Most 1985 nickels in circulation show signs of wear, scratches, smudges, discoloration, all of which bring their value down. But a nickel that has been preserved in mint-state condition, with full steps visible on Monticello, what collectors refer to as the full steps designation, is another story entirely. These coins are significantly rarer and more desirable. Even small upgrades in condition can mean big jumps in value. A 1985 Jefferson nickel graded MS66 with full steps can command hundreds, if not thousands. Push that grade to MS67 or higher, and the coin enters the elite territory, where serious collectors compete fiercely to own it. So how does a coin like this go from a drawer of forgotten change to a high-value collectible? Let me tell you about one remarkable example. A 1985 Jefferson nickel, struck with a dramatic off-center error and preserved in blazing mint-state condition with impeccable luster and razor-sharp detail, caught the attention of grading professionals and auction houses alike. Certified and authenticated, this little 5-cent piece went under the hammer in a high-profile collector's auction, and when the bidding finally ended, the result stunned even seasoned numismatists. That single 1985 nickel sold for a jaw-dropping $65,000. That's right. A 5-cent coin sold for $65,000. This incredible story is proof that hidden treasures are still out there, waiting to be discovered by those who pay close attention. The 1985 Jefferson Nickel reminds us that even the smallest coin can carry history, error, beauty, and yes, immense value. So the next time you find a nickel from 1985 in your change, don't ignore it. Examine it carefully. Look for signs of doubling, unusual edges, off-center strikes, or any subtle flaw that might point to an error. If it's in great condition with strong detail and luster, it might be worth more than you could ever imagine. In the world of coin collecting, patience, curiosity, and attention to detail can pay off in big ways. And sometimes, the next coin you discover may be more than just currency. It might be a hidden masterpiece, a collector's prize, or a forgotten fortune just waiting to be found. Keep searching, keep learning, and above all, enjoy the thrill of the hunt, because in this world, even a nickel can be worth $65,000. Top 3. In a world where digital payments are king, it's easy to forget about the coins jingling in our pockets. But what if I told you that one of those small, overlooked coins, a 5-cent piece, no less, could be worth far more than you ever imagined? That's right, today we're diving into the fascinating story of the 2000 Jefferson Nickel, a coin so common in appearance yet hiding potential treasures that have stunned collectors. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone who just loves rare stories, you'll want to listen to this very carefully. The Jefferson Nickel is one of America's longest-running coin designs, introduced in 1938 to honor Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence. Designed by artist Felix Schlag, the coin's obverse features a left-facing portrait of Jefferson, while the reverse showcases his grand Virginia home, Monticello. Fast forward to the year 2000. This was the last full year before major changes began in the design of the Jefferson Nickel. It was also a year that saw the mint churning out hundreds of millions of nickels from the Philadelphia and Denver facilities. With such large numbers in circulation, you might think there's nothing too special about a 2000 nickel. But hidden among these coins are rare gems that are worth much more than their 5-cent face value. So, what makes a 2000 Jefferson Nickel so valuable? The answer lies in rarity, minting errors, and exceptional condition, a powerful trio that turns an ordinary coin into a collector's prize. Let's start with mint errors, the unintentional but thrilling mistakes that occur during the coin production process. These errors don't just make a coin different, they can make it highly valuable. One of the most intriguing errors collectors look for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank is not properly aligned in the minting press, resulting in a design that's noticeably shifted. In dramatic cases, part of Jefferson's face or Monticello might be missing, while the date remains fully visible. That's key. An off-center strike with a full date can command serious attention from collectors. Another highly sought-after error is the double die, which occurs when the die used to strike the coin is impressed more than once in slightly different positions. This creates a ghost-like doubling on parts of the coin, such as the inscriptions, "Liberty in God We Trust," or the year 2000. While no widely recognized double-die 2000 nickels have been officially cataloged, new discoveries are always possible, especially with millions of coins still floating in circulation. Next, we have clipped planchet errors. These occur when the blank disc from which the coin is made is improperly cut, resulting in a curved section missing from the edge of the coin. A clean, visible clip paired with a strong date and sharp details can add significant value to a nickel from this year. Then there's the broad strike error, a mistake that happens when a coin is struck outside the retaining collar. This causes the coin to spread out and lose its defined rim. These errors are dramatic, easy to spot, and very collectible. And for the eagle-eyed, there's one more possibility: the wrong planchet error. These are coins mistakenly struck on metal blanks intended for other denominations or even foreign coins. Imagine a Jefferson nickel struck on a dime planchet, smaller, thinner, and completely different in weight and feel. These are incredibly rare but not impossible, and any 2000 nickel with unusual size, thickness, or coloration should be closely examined. But beyond minting errors, there's another factor that heavily influences a coin's value: condition. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with higher numbers indicating better preservation. Most nickels you find in pocket change have signs of wear, scratches, fading, or discoloration. But a 2000 Jefferson nickel preserved in mint state condition, particularly one graded MS66 or higher, is a standout. What collectors especially crave is the full steps designation. This refers to the stairs on the Monticello building on the reverse side of the coin. If all 5 or 6 steps are clearly visible, with no signs of wear or flattening, the coin earns the full steps label, and with it, a major boost in value. It's also worth noting that the year 2000 was right before the nickel's design was dramatically changed starting in 2004, with the Westward Journey series. That makes these late-run classic nickels from 2000 some of the final examples of the original Schlag design in its traditional form, adding historic value. Now, here's where things get really exciting. A stunning example of a 2000 Jefferson nickel, struck with a highly unusual off-center error and preserved in near-perfect mint state with sharp luster and beautiful toning, recently stunned collectors when it went to auction. With full steps, excellent strike, and expert authentication by a top grading service, this coin was anything but ordinary, and when the bidding ended, the final sale price shocked everyone. This remarkable 5-cent piece sold for an incredible $30,000. That's right, just a Jefferson nickel from the year 2000. Sold for $30,000. Stories like this one fuel the passion of coin collectors everywhere. They remind us that treasures can be hiding in plain sight, in your coin jar, in your change at the grocery store, or inside an old collection gathering dust. So the next time you come across a Jefferson nickel from the year 2000, don't ignore it. Examine the details. Check the alignment. Look for strange edges or misprints. And if you think you've got something special, get it evaluated. Because even something as ordinary as a 5-cent coin can end up being worth far more than you'd ever guessed. In the end, the 2000 Jefferson nickel proves something powerful. Greatness can come in small, unexpected forms. And in the world of numismatics, the thrill of discovery is priceless. Top 4. Imagine holding a small, 5-cent coin in your hand, something you've seen thousands of times, something most people wouldn't look at twice. Now imagine that same coin, minted in the year 2004, could be worth as much as $21,000. Sounds unbelievable, right? But for collectors and coin lovers around the world, that's the fascinating reality of the 2004 Jefferson nickel, a coin that marked a turning point in American coin design and that, in some rare cases, has turned into a numismatic treasure. Today, I invite you to listen very carefully, because this isn't just a history lesson, it's a journey into what makes an ordinary-looking coin incredibly rare, incredibly collectible, and incredibly valuable. First, let's set the scene. The year 2004 was no ordinary year for the Jefferson nickel. It marked the beginning of an ambitious new series by the United States Mint, a tribute to the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition and the westward expansion of the United States. For the first time in 66 years, the reverse of the Jefferson nickel was changed, making 2004 the birth year of the now famous Westward Journey nickel series. That year, 2 different reverse designs were released into circulation. The first featured the peace medal, a design symbolizing the medals that were given to Native American tribes during diplomatic meetings. The second featured the keelboat, the vessel used by Lewis and Clark during their expedition. Both reverses are striking, historic, and beautifully detailed, and both would quickly become the focus of collectors nationwide. But what makes the 2004 Jefferson nickels truly exciting isn't just their historical design. It's the rare and unexpected errors, variations, and minting quirks that occurred, and these are what elevate the value of certain coins into the thousands. Let's start with the most famous and most talked about variation, the 2004 D-speared bison nickel. This incredible mint error is found on the 2005 bison reverse, but it traces its roots to the excitement stirred by the 2004 releases. Collectors were already paying close attention to every design detail, and in the frenzy of interest, errors that might have gone unnoticed in previous years were spotted, documented, and treasured. This heightened attention spilled over to the 2004 nickels as well, particularly those struck at the Denver Mint. Among these 2004 issues, one of the most interesting finds involves die cracks, tiny fractures in the dies used to strike the coins. When these cracks grow large or form unique patterns, they create raised lines or shapes on the coin's surface. Some 2004 nickels, especially those from the Denver Mint, have shown major die cracks, particularly through Jefferson's portrait or across the reverse design. These dramatic die breaks are not only visually fascinating but also incredibly rare. Then we have off-center strikes, one of the most collectible types of errors in the coin world. These occur when the coin blank is not correctly centered during striking, resulting in an offset design. A 2004 nickel with a 15% to 50% off-center strike, while still showing the full date, becomes highly collectible. Another error to watch for is the clipped planchet, where a portion of the coin is missing due to an improperly cut blank. These clean clips, when paired with visible details and the full date, can easily send a coin's value soaring. Also, the broad strike error, which happens when the coin is struck without the collar that forms the rim, results in a stretched, flat-edged coin. It's a dramatic look and rare to find from the 2004 series. Some of the most prized errors are wrong planchet strikes, coins mistakenly struck on planchets meant for other denominations. A 2004 Jefferson nickel struck on a 1-cent copper planchet, for example, would be both smaller and lighter, and outrageously rare. If authenticated, this kind of error can fetch thousands. Let's not forget the importance of coin grading and condition. A 2004 Jefferson nickel in mint state condition, especially with a grade of MS66 or higher, is already far above average. If it shows full details, particularly on Jefferson's hair, cheekbone, and Monticello steps, then it's a prime candidate for top-tier collector interest. Add an error to that? You're talking about a coin that very few people will ever find in circulation, and even fewer will own. Now you may be wondering, how does a 5-cent piece like this actually reach such a high value? Let me tell you about one exceptional example. A 2004 Jefferson nickel struck with a rare and dramatic off-center error, graded MS67 with strong luster and full detail, recently caught the attention of serious collectors. It was authenticated by one of the top grading services, certified as a legitimate mint error, and entered into an exclusive auction. After a heated round of bidding, with collectors recognizing its rarity, quality, and historical significance, that tiny nickel sold for a staggering $21,000. Yes, a coin worth just 5 cents at face value, sold for $21,000. This isn't just about money. It's about the thrill of discovery. It's about knowing that history and value could be hiding right under your nose, in your pocket, in a roll of change from the bank, or in that old coin jar in your closet. So, if you ever come across a 2004 Jefferson nickel, don't brush it aside. Examine it closely. Look at the mint mark. Inspect the details. Pay attention to the edges, the alignment, and any unusual marks. You might just find a coin that's far more than meets the eye. For collectors, the 2004 nickel represents a turning point in design, a celebration of history, and an open door to some of the most exciting era discoveries in modern coinage. And who knows? The next 2004 nickel you find might just be your gateway to a truly rare piece of numismatic history, one that could be worth $21,000. Keep searching, keep collecting, and never underestimate the power of a single coin. Top 5. What if I told you that a coin minted just a few years ago, a small, simple 5-cent piece from the year 2019, could be worth $11,000? Yes, you heard that right. A Jefferson nickel, the same kind of coin you might pass by every day without a second thought, could actually be a valuable rarity hiding in plain sight. In today's video, we're diving deep into the world of the 2019 Jefferson nickel, uncovering why some examples of this modern coin have skyrocketed in value and become highly desirable among coin collectors. So sit back, pay close attention, and get ready to discover why this humble nickel might be one of the most exciting coins in your collection. Let's start with some background. The Jefferson nickel has been a fixture of American coinage since 1938, when it replaced the Buffalo nickel. It was designed by Felix Schlag, and for decades it kept the same look, Jefferson's profile on the front and his iconic home, Monticello, on the back. But in 2006, the design got a modern refresh. Today's nickels feature a forward-facing image of Jefferson with enhanced details and a bolder, cleaner style. Fast forward to 2019. The U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of nickels that year, with coins struck at both the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, and the Denver Mint, marked with a D. On the surface, these 2019 nickels look like any other. But that's what makes their hidden surprises even more incredible. Because inside those millions of nickels, a few extraordinary ones stand out due to minting errors, special varieties, and outstanding condition, all of which contribute to their shockingly high value. Let's begin with one of the most fascinating aspects, mint errors. One of the most talked about errors from 2019 is the off-center strike. These errors occur when the coin blank isn't perfectly positioned under the die during the minting process. The result? A visibly shifted image, with parts of Jefferson's face or Monticello missing from the surface. If the date, 2019, is still clearly visible and the error is dramatic, let's say 30% to 50% off-center, the coin becomes highly desirable to collectors. Add in a high-grade or nearly uncirculated condition, and you've got a rare find on your hands. Another major error that commands attention is the clipped planchet. This happens when the blank used to strike the coin is cut too close to the edge of the metal sheet, leaving a noticeable curved portion missing from the edge. These clean clips, especially when paired with the full date and strong design details, can turn an ordinary nickel into a hot item for error collectors. Next, we have the broad strike error, an error where the coin is struck without the collar that normally forms its rim. This causes the coin to spread out, creating a wider and thinner shape with an unusual, almost stretched look. Broad-struck nickels from 2019 are rare and visually dramatic, making them instant attention grabbers at auctions and in collector forums. And then there's the holy grail of modern coin errors, the wrong planchet strike. Imagine a 2019 Jefferson nickel mistakenly struck on a blank meant for a penny, a dime, or even a foreign coin. These types of errors are incredibly rare, but when they do occur, they are instantly valuable. If you ever find a 2019 nickel that feels too light, too small, or looks unusual in color, it may be one of these rare errors. Get it examined by a professional immediately. Now let's talk about varieties, because 2019 had a few surprises in this department as well. Some 2019 nickels show signs of double die errors, where the design appears slightly doubled due to a misalignment in the die creation process. Look carefully at the inscriptions like, "In God We Trust, Liberty," or even the date. If you notice a ghosted doubling effect, you may be holding a true treasure. But perhaps the most influential factor in determining a coin's value is its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a flawless, uncirculated example. A coin in poor condition might be worth only face value. But a 2019 Jefferson nickel in mint state 67 or higher, with its original luster, no scratches, and sharp detail, now that's a coin collectors will fight for. Add in the coveted full steps designation, which refers to the sharp, uninterrupted lines on the steps of Monticello, and the value increases dramatically. Only a small fraction of nickels from 2019 were struck well enough to earn this title, and even fewer have been preserved in perfect condition since then. So now you might be asking, how does a coin like this go from everyday pocket change to thousands of dollars? Let me tell you a real example. A rare 2019 Jefferson nickel, struck with a significant off-center error, preserved in near-perfect mint state condition with full steps, and authenticated by a top-tier grading service, went to auction recently. The bidding was fierce. Collectors recognized the rarity, the condition, and the combination of both an error and high grade. When the hammer finally fell, the final price was $11,000. That's right, a modern nickel, just a few years old, sold for $11,000. It's proof that even in today's world of mass production, hidden treasures still exist. The thrill of coin collecting is alive and well, and sometimes, it's as close as your own change jar or the next handful of coins you get at the store. So don't ignore that 2019 nickel. Check its alignment. Look for odd shapes. Examine the inscriptions and Jefferson's face for any doubling. And if the coin looks unusually sharp and perfect, consider getting it professionally graded, because it might be worth far more than 5 cents. In the end, the 2019 Jefferson Nickel reminds us that history, craftsmanship, and value can come together in the most unexpected places. Keep your eyes open, keep your curiosity alive, and above all, enjoy the incredible journey of collecting, because that little coin in your hand, it might just be worth $11,000.